Hi there, I'm Laura, and along with my partner Tebow and a team of inquisitive teens, we produce this series that answers the questions about what teenagers are really all about. Well, they actually produce it, and edit it, and write it, and host it. They do it all. It's pretty amazing. So given the resources, the guidance, and the reins, let's see what they come up with. You in? Today's first segment is Michaela interviewing American Idol winner Lee Dewyze. She does a great job. Check it out.
Ever wondered what it's like to be on American Idol? Well, stick around and you'll find out, because today I'm here at the Met in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. I'm going to interview Season 9 American Idol winner Lee Dewyze. He's going to tell us a little bit about the process of Idol and what his life has been after Idol, so don't go anywhere. What made you decide to audition for American Idol?
Well, growing up, I always wanted to play music, and I always wanted to be a songwriter and do all those things as a career. And so, nowadays it's not really how it used to be, where it was you would maybe get discovered in a bar or a club. There's so many things like YouTube and all different outlets, Facebook, and all this different social media that people use to get out there. And so it's a much more competitive world, I feel like, the music industry. And so for me, when the opportunity came around, it wasn't necessarily something I said like, I think I could win this thing, let's go do it. It was more like, I'll try anything because this is what I want to do. And so when the opportunity came around, I more or less wanted to just see how far I could get, So I auditioned, and next thing you know, yeah.
It worked. What was your favorite part of the whole Idol process?
Man. I'd say a couple of the things I really liked about it was, the getting to meet a lot of great, artists and performers through the process. Being able to perform with someone like Harry Connick, or things like that, was definitely, made it all worth it. But I think, just kind of like figuring out myself as an artist on the show, because when you go on the show, they definitely put this thing out there like, you've grown so much, and it's like, I was doing it for 4 years before I ever went on the show. So really learning, through that process, what it would be like to be performing in front of millions of people and that kind of stuff. I was never on those kind of stages. So that definitely gave me a little bit more ease now playing, bigger shows and things like that. But I just think overall, the best part was, the fans. You gain a lot of great fans, and you meet a lot of good people, and being able to do this for a living now is, more than worth it. And, it was just a great experience.
So what is the biggest way your life has changed since Idol?
The biggest way my life has changed, I would have to say, that music is a life now for me. It's not just a hobby. It's not just something I do on the side for, this or that. It's what I do now for a living. And so to be able to be in the position to wake up and make music for a living and do what I love, I mean, that's, a blessing for sure. And, I'm just, very grateful for that. But, so much has changed, from, working back in, Chicago to traveling the world now and playing shows and writing music and all that kind of stuff is great. And working for other artists too, writing songs for other artists or different projects is something I've always wanted to be a part of, and I do that now as well. So, there's been so many changes, but, I can't say that I've changed much. I'm pretty much the same guy. When I go back home, my friends are always like, man, you're the same person. And that's, always been my goal, is to not let any of this stuff change who I am, and just always be down to earth and things like that. Because, I think that's, when I look at the people that I admire, that's what I look for. And, hopefully I can be that for people that are fans of my music.
How would you describe your musical style?
I would definitely consider it more of the singer-songwriter, Americana, folk, aggressive rock kind of thing. I'm big into lyrics. I'm big into, the emotional performance. So for me, it's not really just about getting up there and singing my songs for people. I really want to connect with them, and I really want it to be honest music. So I guess I would call it like Americana, folk, acoustic, rock. I guess. I don't know. It's always.
You write your own songs?
Yes, I write my own music. I feel that there's plenty of artists out there that don't, and I think that music's open to interpretation. So, when someone writes a song and someone else sings it, that's artistry in itself, I guess. But for me, on a personal level, if I don't write my own music, then it doesn't feel honest to me, and I don't feel like I could really connect to it as much as I do when I write it. And I definitely like to connect with people, and they're my lyrics and my words and my thoughts, and I'd love to relate to people through the music that way. And I think that that's an important part of music. Music has the ability to make you feel happy or sad or upset or excited, whatever it is. And I just feel that I do much better on stage when it's my own words, and I really take pride in the songwriting. I mean, I really that's what I love about what I do is being able to tell stories and convey emotions and different things through music, and to be able to do that in this way is just awesome.
So one of your songs, Blackbird's Song, was featured on AMC's The Walking Dead. Were you a fan of the show before?
Huge fan. I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead, but I don't know who isn't at this point. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the show. My wife's a huge fan of the show, and we love it. And so one day I was kind of sitting down. I was super inspired by the show actually itself, and I really wrote the song with the show in mind. There's certain lyrics in there that I really pulled from the show. Whether it be, it sings about, the mouths are dry, and it's just kind of that whole traveling, trying to survive kind of vibe, and the preacher's son, and there's all these different little nuances in the song that really are directly related to the show. And we talked to the people over there, and we sent them the song, and they loved it, and it was really cool to within a matter of time to write the song, go into a studio for a day, record it, send it, and have them be like, we're using it. And then to be sitting down watching one of my favorite shows and have that song on, I was just like, guys, here it comes, this is the best, And so I was sitting with my family and my wife, of course, and friends, and we were watching, and it was just really exciting to see my song up there. And it felt really good. It really felt like it worked with the show in that episode and everything. It just all really worked out. AMC's been really cool, and the people I've worked with over there, and hope to do more in the future. So it was exciting.
Yeah, it's a great song, great show also.
It was weird. We found out just recently that it was the top 20 most Shazam songs in the world that week, which was really wild. And Shazam, and I found out through them because they tweeted it out, and I was just like, come on, and I clearly was like, wow, that was pretty cool. So I was excited about that.
So your last album, Frames, came out August of 2013. What made you choose that song as the title?
Well, I think just the title, I was thinking about picture frames, and I feel like what picture frames are, when you look at them, they're all these different moments in time, and they're different, things, whether it be a picture from when you were at a birthday party, or your picture when you're on vacation, or you and the person you love, or whether it be the day that so-and-so passed away and you were at a funeral, you can see those emotions in the photos and people's faces. And I feel like songs are the same way. They're like these moments in time, these ideas, put into music that you can tap into anytime you want. And for me, I just felt like the songs aren't all the same, and so the same way a photo album isn't all the same, or picture frames aren't all the same. And so I just really felt like it just made sense, and there's also different frames of mind, the word frames, you can be different. And I just feel like the whole album in itself is very from beginning to end, it's up and down. And so it just felt like the right title, I guess.
And what's your favorite song to sing live?
Ooh, that's a tough one. My favorite song to sing live. Currently, it would either be My Single Fight, That's not just because it's my single. It really is my favorite song to sing. But I love singing that. There's another one called Don't Be Afraid of mine, which is probably, when I play it on stage, there's so much energy in the song, and the lyrics mean a lot to me. So I think Don't Be Afraid is probably one of the songs that means a whole heck of a lot to me.
So are there any specific artists that you'd like to collaborate with?
That's a good question. Are there any artists I collaborate with? I mean, yeah, there's so many. I could give you, my ultimate would be Paul Simon. I would love to write a song with Paul Simon. That would be, or Cat Stevens, who's just now getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is awesome. I'm a huge Cat Stevens fan, but I think writing a song with Paul Simon would be like my absolute ultimate for me.
That would be amazing. So you're living your dream now. Is being a musician everything you thought it would be?
I really didn't know what I thought it would be. I never really thought about that. I always thought like, if I want to make music for a living, so I just play my songs. That's it. There's so much more that goes into it. The fans are a huge part of it. They really are what keeps it going. And, I love that aspect of it. But there's definitely ups and downs, like there isn't anything when it comes to being a musician. There's always this idea, especially coming off of like a show like American Idol, that everyone's the same. You're going to go be this pop star, or you're going to go do this, and it's like, it's been hard to, I wouldn't say break down those barriers, but, it's definitely just a learning experience all the time. But at the end of the day, I get to play music for amazing people and do what I love, and that's what I really do this for. That's why I love doing it. It's because, when I get on that stage and I sing and I play, like, all that matters is the people that are there listening and what I'm feeling on stage and trying to convey to them. So that aspect of it's really been an amazing experience to be able to do that. But there's always little things that you never think about. There's in any job, like I said, it's a learning experience. There's definitely unexpected things that happen, especially in the music industry. It's, such a competitive place, but I've really tried to not do this for anything other than truly the love of music. I'm not trying to compete with anybody or be this person or be that person. I want to be myself, and I want to make the music that I love and I want to make. And when you really kind of keep it real and stay true to yourself in that sense, it's a much more enjoyable process. And like I said, the fans are really just, they're the best part of it all.
So what advice would you give to a teen or like an adult who wanted to go audition for a singing competition like American Idol?
What advice would I give? I would say from the beginning, be yourself, because as in anything, like in life, if you walk around with a smile on your face holding back, what's really going on at the day that you blow up, people are like, who's this guy? So you really want to get up there and just really be yourself and show people like, this is who I am. And my other bit of advice would be to not allow what's going on around you to alter what you're doing. I definitely went through a little bit of that myself being on the show, where I'm more of a nitty-gritty kind of aggressive singer, I guess you could say, and being around people that have these like beautiful voices and all these things. Not that mine, whatever. I'm just saying, it's easy to be like, well, maybe that's what I should be doing. Should I not be as this way, or should I not be as rock? Should I be more like? And so to really just stay true to what it is you want to do, and put the people around you that you trust, and trust the people that are around you. It's really important to have people around you that you can trust, because in this industry, there's a lot of people that you shouldn't, and it's really just really know what it is that you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do before you go into it, because you got to understand that once you go on a show like that, the next thing you could be, are you willing to leave your family for a year, and are you willing to fly to other countries and do? There's so many things that go into it. Are you willing to be on TV and have people judge you and write things about you and write things about your family? It goes on and on and on. But like I said, that's not the reason you should go out for those shows. The reason I went out for this show is truly, it wasn't really for fame at all. It was really because I want to make music. I want to do this for a living. This is what I love, and that was an outlet to do that. And in the beginning, when I was auditioning, I was like, I don't want, this is easy. This is the cheap way out. This is, and it was actually the hardest thing I ever did in my entire life. So I would just say really know who you are as a musician and as an artist, and be ready for anything, and enjoy it. Enjoy the process, and don't think that if you don't make it or you don't win or you whatever. And it might be easier for me to say that, like I want, so but seriously, like whether I came in first or didn't make it through Hollywood Week, I'd still be doing this. So do it for the love of music, and if you don't get through or whatever, you're still doing it. You're still going to do it because you love it. So don't think of it as the be all end all to anything. And there's really so much more to life than fame or money or any of those things. It's really about being able to do what you love, and that constant fight to do that. And for me, I'm just blessed enough and grateful enough that I get to do that. And I just I think I encourage everybody to go after what it is that they want to do and what they love. And because unless you try, unless you put yourself out there, you never know. And you've got to be willing to put yourself out there, because if you just sit on your hands all day and don't go after it, then nothing's going to get done. You got to be willing to take risks. Hear no a million times. I heard no plenty of times before I went on American Idol, and that's going to happen. That's just the way it is. But you got to understand that that's not, that's not the be all end all to everything. There's so much more than just, oh, you said no, I didn't make it. All right, I quit. It's like you got to keep pushing, and eventually, you'll get there.
Well, thank
That was a short answer, by the way.
That was great advice, though. That was awesome.
That was a short answer, in case you're interested.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us, Lee.
Yeah.
And stay tuned for what's coming up next.
Stay tuned.
Sometimes I feel like you don't know me anymore, and other times I feel you know me best. I could love you better, but I never wanna love you less. So run away and I'll be running next to you. I'll never let you run away though. Before you run too far away, I think that I should let you know that I would fight and I would beg. I just want to hear you say that tonight will be alright if you will stay. And I would fight and I would beg. I just want to hear you say that tonight will be alright if you will stay. So put your head in mine, we'll be fine. I know that if you stay tonight, I promise I will show you I will fight and I will bet. I just want to hear you say that tonight you will fight, 'cause I will fight and I will bet. I just want to hear you say that tonight will be alright if you will stay. So put your head in mine, we'll be fine. I know that if you stay tonight, I promise I will show you I will find. So put your head in mine, we'll be fine. I know that if you stay tonight, I promise I will show you I will find.
Coming up next, we get a tour of Trinity Repertory Company. We're also going to see a bit of their Christmas Carol performance in 2011. We were there. And there's a bit of a Christmas present coming up after that, so stay tuned.
So here we are at Trinity Repertory Company on Washington Street, and we are in the Lederer Theater Center. It was built in 1917, and actually was the Emery Majestic Theater. The Emery brothers purchased this land and wanted to build the most beautiful vaudeville theater in its time and in this area, and they were very successful. Vaudeville shows would come from New York to Providence, and they would come here and perform here and not actually go to Boston because this was such a beautiful theater to perform in. It was a vaudeville house until about 1926, in which the film industry started to take off, and then it was turned into a movie house, and it actually filmed some of the first CinemaScope productions. The owner at the time paid Warner Brothers $25,000 to have exclusive rights to show their movies. So no other theater in Providence, and I'm not sure how many miles that in case, but definitely Providence, could not show their films. He had exclusive rights to do that. It was a movie house until, like I said, the late 60s, and the Lederer family then owned the building at that time and worked with Trinity to make this theater two spaces, the Chase Theater above us and the Dowling Theater on this level. So this is the Chase Theater. It seats 512 right now, or 520. As you can see, it's a thrust. It's what we would call a thrust. It's not a proscenium in any way, shape, or form because we're coming into the audience. We're very unique here at Trinity because we do have spaces and stages that are totally different. So this is our Dowling Theater. It seats 281 seats, and if you look at it, it doesn't feel like you can put almost 300 people in here. It's one of my most favorite spaces I've ever produced in because I think it's incredibly intimate. It was fashioned after the theater at the Trinity Church, which is on the intersection of Elmwood and Broad Street, which is where Trinity got its start back in the early 60s. This is the set of Christmas Carol that Patrick Lynch designed. He designed a couple shows with us last year. We do this every year. We do a different Christmas Carol every year. This is our 31st season of Christmas Carol, I do believe. And once again, it has been a different version of Christmas Carol every single year. Different director, different set designers, the whole 9 yards. We are one of the only, there's very few theaters that actually do this. They usually bring the same set out of a box, plop it on stage. You see the same thing you saw the year before, so this is very different. We actually fly an actor with ZFX, that's the company in which we fly. And that took us about 5 or 6 rehearsals to get this kind of down pat, to decide the moves that they wanted to make. They were working with him in rehearsal, but it's always different once you get the harness on, see what that actor can do in the harness, and then you get this big stage on and all of that stuff like that. So this is what we call the pit. A lot of theaters also use the term trap room, which kind of is self-explanatory, one would assume. Whenever you have a hole in the deck and an actor comes through it, they have to go somewhere. This is the elevator? These are our 2 elevators. This is one, and if you notice that there is a stage above me and there's not a great big hole, that's because this elevator has a slit trap. So this is the elevator itself, which we put things on, and that goes up and down, but the slip trap is just another layer that just kind of shoots straight back that way, that allows us to close the hole up faster. So you don't have this, people acting around this, 6x6 hole. There is a whole safety thing that we go through. Brakes are released at a certain time. Once again, stage manager calls all of that stuff. Brakes are then engaged, and if anything happens, there's communication. We've lost elevators during a show. We just figure it out on a whim or a moment's notice of how to make the show still happen, and that no one knows.
Caroling, caroling, now we go. Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling through the snow. Christmas bells are ringing. Joyous voices sweet and clear. Sing us out of heart to cheer. Ding dong, Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling through the town. Christmas bells are ringing. Caroling, caroling up and down. Christmas bells are ringing.